Okay, so I've really been missing you all, and I decided that I wanted to read another story to you. You can listen to this weekend, or you can listen to it sometime this week, whenever's good for you. So we're going to read The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Who's that guy? Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. So this is the big bad wolf. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. Do you believe that? This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig. And he wasn't too bright either. Ooh, bright. We talked about that vocabulary word a couple of months ago. Remember, bright, like smart. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? Do you think a house would stand up that was built out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, "Little pig, little pig, are you in?" No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch, and I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed, and I sniffed, and I sneezed a great sneeze. Let me hear the greatest sneeze you can make. Good job. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. Whoops. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham lying there in the straw. So I ate him up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. Would you eat it? I was feeling a little better, but I didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered, so I called, Mr. Pig! Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, "Go away, Wolf! You can't come in! I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin!" There's that digraph. Chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Do you believe the wolf? Now you know food will spoil if you just leave it out there in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old Granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and the second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. So I called, "Mr. Pig? Mr. Pig? Are you in?" And do you know what that rude little porker answered? "Get out of here, Wolf! Don't bother me again!" Talk about impolite! He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear, sweet old Granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. Let me hear it. Good job. Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old Granny can't sit on a pin!" That's not very nice. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down that pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. Oh, they put him in the newspaper. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down nonsense. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar? What do you guys think? Do you think this is the true story of the three little pigs, the way the wolf tells it? Or do you think the real story of the three little pigs is the way the pigs told it? What do you think? Comment on our video or send me a little message from your parents and tell me what you think. And if you want to get really creative, make your own little pig house out of anything in your house, like popsicle sticks or something recycled. See if you can make something that you think would not blow down from the wolf's sneeze. All right, I miss you all and have a great weekend.